Hey, and welcome back to another episode of The Chef's Table. I'm Chef Evelyn, and I'm a culinary brand strategist. And what I do is I specialize in helping chefs charge premium prices in their food business. And the way I do that is by teaching them to build a high-end culinary brand. And so in today's episode, I want to talk about the only thing that you need to do in order to charge premium prices in your business. One thing. There's just one thing you need to do, right? Because let me just tell you, I get the question all the time, like, how do I increase my prices? How do I find high-end paying clients? How do I find clients who will pay me more money? Like, how do I justify having these prices? How do I have the confidence to charge premium prices? Yeah, right? These are like the questions I get all the time. And listen, the questions make sense, right? So I'm not making fun. Like, if you've had that question or if you've asked me that question, it's a totally valid question. And the reason why it's totally valid is because in our industry, we have really been bred to believe that, long hours and low pay is just what comes with the territory. And, when you really start to think about, the nature of having a personal food brand. So if you're doing dinner party or meal prep or personal chefing or catering or teaching cooking classes or hosting events or anything like that, when you really think about the service that we offer, then that notion of long hours and low pay actually doesn't make any sense, right? And so and it's one of the, like, I go kind of deep into that in the High-End Culinary Brand Masterclass. But in today's video, what I really want to talk about is the one thing that will completely make it easy, effortless to charge premium prices in your food business. And it's simple. You've probably heard me say it before. If not, listen, you're going to hear me say it now. As a matter of fact, if this is your first time here, welcome. I forgot to welcome you, right? Listen, welcome to this corner of the internet. If you like it here, hopefully you will subscribe. And if you have been here before, then welcome back. You must have heard something that you like, and you are back for another serving, okay? So here is the number one thing, or the only thing really you need to create a high-end culinary brand so you can charge premium prices. Well, I just gave away the answer. Is you need to create a high-end brand experience, right? I have gone and talked about this in length, right? If you've heard it before, then you need to hear it again, because that means that you obviously haven't done it, all right? Or if this is your first time hearing it, let me explain, okay? I want you to think about this. I think this is the best way for me to illustrate what I'm trying to say. Think about the number one reason why people stop supporting a business, right? It's usually because they had a bad experience with them, right? Whether the product was faulty or the customer service was lacking or the person just treated them bad or it was difficult, they were difficult to work with, or they had to jump through too many hoops, or whatever the case may be, that overall that's just their experience with the brand, the product or the service just wasn't great, right? And one of the things that I kind of go into detail in the How to Charge Premium Prices in Your Food Business Masterclass are like, the 7, components of what I call my dinner party framework that go into a high-end culinary brand. But if you think about it, usually something was off, right? It was the experience. I will say, yes, there is the occasion where, like, oh, I just didn't enjoy the product or service. But sometimes people didn't enjoy the product, but they don't completely leave the brand. Like, think about this, right? There, like, I have been to, companies that sell, let's say, skincare, and I didn't love the cleanser, but I still really enjoyed the moisturizer, right? Or, I didn't, love this perfume scent, but I really enjoyed this one, right? Or, oh, I went to this spa and, I wasn't in love with their pedicures, but their hot stone massage is amazing, right? And so if you think about it, people, yes, are leaving because of poor quality sometimes, but usually they're leaving or not supporting or working with a company or a brand again because they had a bad experience, right? So I want to take you back to, like, English, right? Which is, there's the converse statement, right? In engineering, we had this thing like that. If this is true, then the converse of this statement also has to be true, right? Like, if 1 + 1 = 2, then the converse of that is 2 also equals 1 plus 1, right? Like, I'm trying to put it as simple as possible. So if you think about it from that perspective, that if the number one reason why people stop supporting a business, a product, a service, a brand is because they had a horrible experience, then what is the number one reason that people stay or come back? Is because they had an amazing experience, right? But what I have found is that nobody is teaching people how to embed this amazing experience into their business, particularly not in the food service industry. And I think a lot of people get good customer service confused with a great client experience. Good customer service is a piece of a great client experience, right? Having a good quality service, right, is a piece of a great client experience, right? And so, you know, it's really simple. You just need to build a high-end culinary brand experience. But what I realized is that when it comes to the culinary entrepreneurship, like educational space, right? People are teaching, like culinary school teaches you how to become a better chef, right? You know, how to move faster in the kitchen, how to be more effective, food safety and sanitation, how to improve your technique, how to, you know, combine flavors, classic flavors, the hierarchy of the kitchen, et cetera, et cetera. And it's really geared for you to become an employee, right? Like, I love my culinary school experience, but they're really gearing you to be an employee, okay? Nothing wrong with that. That's just not what we are doing over here, okay? Also, I think about, you know, that there's other people in the space, you know, that have YouTube channels or podcasts or websites, things like that, and they're teaching you how to do a specific thing. Be a personal chef, start a catering company, be a food blogger, take better pictures, right? Teach cooking classes. I have even done that in my business, right? Where I teach you how to do the certain thing. But what I really found was missing from things that I've taken over the years, and when I first started consulting, was teaching people how to command those premium prices, how to build a sustainable business model, regardless of what manifestation of a food business that you have. Whether you're a personal chef or cooking classes or a food blogger or food influencer or dinner parties or whatever, right? That the part that was missing was, how do you build this high-end brand experience around that, right? So that you can charge premium prices. And so I think that's the thing that's missing. I think a lot of times people just say, well, you can just charge this and go with this. But it's like, if you can't justify to yourself why that price is really hard to convey that to a potential client or customer. It's really hard to get someone to pay that if your confidence is not there. But if you understand what goes into that, right? What factors play into that price point, then your confidence is increased. Like, as a matter of fact, in the high-end culinary brand masterclass, I even do go into a whole section on how to have the confidence to charge premium prices, because I also think that's super important, right? But I would say, out of all of that, I think the number one thing, the most important thing, is creating this amazing client experience, because that is the number one reason why people stop, you know, supporting a brand. You went to a hotel, you got what you needed: a clean room, a comfortable bed, you needed a place to sleep. So from a commodity standpoint, but if you had a horrible experience, you won't go back, right? But if you had an amazing experience, you're loyal. And that is what I want to teach you to do. So listen, if you have not enrolled in how to charge premium prices in your food brand masterclass, listen, it's a 90-minute training that's going to walk you through my 7-part dinner party framework of what it takes to build a high-end culinary brand that easily commands higher prices. Then I definitely think you should do that. You can go to highendculinarybrand.com. The link is to that masterclass is in the description below, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside. So let me know, what questions do you have about building a high-end culinary brand, or what questions do you have about the masterclass? I would love for us to get a dialogue going down below in the chat, and I will see you in my next video. Peace.